we're still on lockdown, and you find me in a chicken coop on one of the allotments that my wife has. There's the other half of it. Great fun. So, what's going on in motoring? Well, this week several of the major manufacturers are starting up, or trying to start up, production of cars in Europe. So some of the UK plants like Nissan Sunderland and Jaguar Land Rover are starting limited production runs this week, and Ford are aiming to get production back up and running as well, along with a few other companies, smaller mid-range. But Tesla in the US has been ordered to keep its factory shut, which is interesting, as projected death rates are falling in America in the same way that they are in Europe. But while other manufacturers are sort of making tentative steps, Tesla's been ordered to shut, and we're not quite sure why. But it's definitely an interesting thought. As to whether this is a good idea or not, well, social distancing is going to have to be put in place, and of course a few other things as well to make sure that the workplace is safe for those users. As to what's going to happen in the future, we'll have to wait and see, but it's definitely something to watch for in the coming months, or certainly even coming days and weeks. So, back inside now that it's been raining, is it really a good idea for car manufacturers to reopen their factories so soon? Now, a couple of reports have come in through Germany that infection rates have started to rise since the lockdown was eased a little bit, and kind of waiting to see what happens with the current situation here in the UK now that some easing of lockdown restrictions were announced, even though a few people are finding them a bit confusing and some of the regulations around it aren't really that clear. But one of the things they have to do is make sure that they're able to socially distance around, obviously, the workplace, make sure that everybody's got enough space between them, there's less likelihood of cross-infection should there be an issue. But that's currently the news for this week. I mean, there's been a few new car announcements as well, and of course the issue around Tesla with their US factories being ordered shut. I am going to put one of the pieces for episode 25 into post-production now, just to kind of get that ready for when episode 25 eventually comes out. Now, with the latest announcement on furlough being extended to October, there's a possibility that episode 25 might not be around till the end of the year or even next year, depending on what further eases there are, or what further releasing of lockdown there is. One thing that's put paid to is one of the planned pieces that I was going to try and do, which was a piece where we go from East Coast to West Coast, looking at fuel consumption on a longer term journey, and basically the fuel costs as well. So which of the cars is actually cheaper across that journey? But I doubt that's going to happen anytime soon. It might be an interesting challenge to do it across the shortest day, assuming we're all out by then. But roughly the shortest day of the year, you could in theory do Land's End to John O'Groats. So I'm not sure there. But still interesting stuff. Not really that sure, to be honest, from this point on. Doubt there will be any serious production on Overdrive before August now. It'd be mainly videos like this. I'm going to try and keep the content going, but there may be a slowdown. Certainly Craig's having issues with his phone, and Martin's doing okay with his. He's basically getting the videos done, sending them to me. I'm getting them all post-production and getting them all ready and uploaded. But Craig's having a few issues with his phone due to storage issues and basically running out of space. So we might not be hearing so much from Craig, but we shall see. We've given him some advice, some tips that we can actually do. To be fair, neither of the other two are technical in many ways, so no detriment to either of them. And Martin's having a go with things like iMovie now on the iPhone, so he's putting some of the stuff together himself and he's having a play. Craig could well do that if he had the right device, which he doesn't. And unfortunately, I've had a look at that device as well while we've been up at the allotments and passed things between us. And unfortunately, the phone he's got doesn't even have an expansion port on the side to put a memory card in. And there's no way to get to the battery, so it's all a sealed unit. So we might not be hearing that much from Craig going forward from this point. But we'll see. We're trying to get him up and running. We're both trying to sort of talk him through a few things and trying to at least get to a point where he's able to at least do short videos or anything like that. But we're keeping in touch. We've got WhatsApp. We've got our own WhatsApp group. And one of the things I'm looking at is reintegrating WhatsApp into the main website. Now, a lot of people probably don't know this, but we do have our own website as well. And that's available at www.overdrive-online.co.uk. News, views, and all our past stuff is all there. It's basically, you're able to get onto YouTube and see the videos in whatever order you like. And it's all segmented off and quite nicely separated, so you can see the episodes, you can see the individual reviews, you can see the individual discussions and things like that, and a nice little search index too. We're carrying on as best we can. Like as you saw earlier in the video, I've been up at the allotment, we've done a few bits up there, and yeah, we're probably going to wind up doing possibly news catch-ups, things like that, and we're going to try and keep the Friday features going, which is the main part of our set, really, the new videos on the Fridays, with fillers like this in between. Beyond that, I can't say, I don't know, but hopefully this will start to ease a bit more going forward, and things will get back to normal-ish, hopefully once a vaccine's available. Now, there's all this talk about distribution of the vaccine. Well, we've done this before. We've been through this before. The 1918 Spanish flu outbreak, which killed 50 million people. Similar thing to what's happening now, but this time we've got the experience of also mass distribution of vaccines as well, with smallpox. The smallpox vaccine, which was distributed worldwide and effectively eliminated smallpox, apart from a few samples within laboratories. So we've done this sort of thing before. The options are there, and there is always hope. So all I can say for now is stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Take care.